Hey guys, how are you doing? It's Karina from Friendly Pantry. I am live and we are talking about 10 essentials that you need before traveling with your food allergy child. So, true story. As I was getting ready to do this, I was getting everything ready. I have a few things I want to show you. Um, and as I was going, it was like 5 minutes before I was supposed to start, and I realized that I could not find my phone. And if you know me, I am always losing my phone. It's constant. Like, it's always all over the house. I can never keep track of it. And I always have it on the ringer off. So when I call it, it's not easy to find. It's just because I need it to be quiet most of the time. And actually, now that I think about it, because I was running around, my phone is not on Do Not Disturb. So I'm really hoping that nobody calls me right now because I didn't have the chance to turn it off. But I do have my coffee, and I'm happy about that because this is a food allergy mom coffee chat. So we are going to get this done. So I'm just going to make sure that things seem to be set up correctly. I think so. It looks like it is set up, which is good. Does anybody else have troubles finding their phone? Is it just me? I don't know. It's my kids and my husband, they just laugh at me now because it's constantly. So anyways, I found it. I found it in time. So I'm really happy about that. It was actually in my den right here underneath a pile of papers. So that's, it's papers. You can't see them, but they are definitely here. So anyways, food allergy mom coffee chat about travel essentials. Now, I want you to know that I wrote a whole blog about this, and it's got a whole list. Not only that, so it's got all the food allergy essentials that I really recommend, but it also has a packing list. Can you see that? So I use this packing list every single time we go on vacation. So, or even away for the weekend. And I've used it for many years and I've added to it, and I've improved it, and I've changed it. I've actually even now split it out into 2 age groups because I find that the things that we needed when our kids were really little were different than what they need now. So I have 2 different age groups. You can sign up to get them in the blog post. And for Instagram viewers, I'm going to have that blog post link in my bio. You'll just click on the bio or the link in the bio, and then you'll find the Travel Essentials blog. If you go there, you can sign up to get that handy dandy packing list. The nice thing about it is that it's got, and I'm just going to see, so for all the kids that you have, you probably can't read it. It's probably backwards, but I've got like 3 kids, plus I have another column there for me. So all the things I have listed, some of your kids won't need, whatever, but I just cross those off for those ones. But at least that you've packed things for all of your kids that you have. So this one has more than just the allergy stuff too. It's got like the swimsuit, the underwear, the socks, the clothes. So it's pretty much a all-in packing list. So you want to check that out, and you can sign up for it and get it in the blog post that I will have. So Instagram, it's going to be in the link in the blog, or link in the bio, sorry. And on Facebook, I'm going to put it, that link will be, let me think, I'll put it in the comments because I don't think I put it in the description yet. So make sure you check that out. And let's dive in. Let's start talking about what we need to bring along and what we find is really essential when we go traveling with our food allergy daughter. And for those of you who don't know, I used to have 2 food allergy daughters. The first one, my oldest, had severe egg and milk allergies. She outgrew them. My second has severe peanut and tree nut allergies and a gluten intolerance. And she still has them, but she is actually able to eat a few nuts now, and we are working on having those nuts. So we're working up, maybe things will get better, but we're hoping for that. But that's my story. That's what I've had. So I've had lots of travel experience. My husband and I, we love to travel. We always have. We actually lived in New Zealand for a year when we first got married. And so we really didn't want to let food allergies stop us when we started getting into this, because it was something that was important to us. And we really do feel that that travel, is a great way to educate our kids and to get them to start going and learning about the world and learning about what's around them. But it takes a lot more time and effort, definitely, to travel safely. So I go to the extremes and I go to utmost to make sure that I've got safe food for my daughter. And we do all we can to keep her safe. And we do take all the safety precautions. We've never had to use her EpiPen yet, thank goodness. But we have it. We always, always, always have it with us so that we know if we need to use it, we can, because it is life-saving. So that is what our history is with travel. Somebody's asked, Nicole, what age was your child diagnosed and what age did she grow out of it? My oldest, both of my daughters were diagnosed as toddlers. So like it was around, back then the feeding was a lot different. They were telling you to avoid allergens, except not eggs and those things. It was more the peanuts at that time. But my allergist, okay, so that's a long story. he told us to just give all the foods early. He was kind of ahead of the curve because that's what they're telling you to do now. But so both of my girls, I was giving it to them early, and they around probably 9 months to a year, they were both diagnosed. And my oldest, who outgrew it, it was probably around, she outgrew milk and egg around age 4, just above age 4. And so we had all of those allergies for a little while, but then she outgrew them, and then my youngest also got tree nut. So she started with peanut, and then she also got tree nut. So anyways, she outgrew it around 4. So hopefully that answers your question. It's a little bit of a long one. Sorry for that. So anyways, let's get to some of these travel things. And I've got some here to look at so you can see. First of all, as in my blog post, always have your FAIR allergy plan. You can get other allergy plans from other places, Food Allergy Canada as well. Your allergist may have one for you that they can give you, but have that with you always. That's just a standard. I always take a few copies as well. Of course, the EpiPen for sure. Always have that, or if you're in the US, you'll probably have the Allergy, I believe it's called. We don't have that in Canada anymore. It hasn't come back yet. Hoping for that, but I know the US has it. So you guys, that's great. But I wanted to show you our carrier. And this is the Frio carrier. And it comes sort of in pieces. So this is the insert. This keeps our EpiPen cool enough for hot days. So it is awesome. I really like it because we can take it in our carry-on when it's in its dry state, because it's kind of like got these little beads in it, and you soak it in water to activate it. So once you soak it in water, it will last for a good 2 to 3 days, maybe even longer, depending on how hot it is and how much you're using it. But you can put an EpiPen in there. You need to get a big one, so make sure you measure this out. Now, I wanted one that fit 2, and I saw the case on the website. Show you, the case looks like this. So I thought that fit 2. It doesn't, because this thing, it swells up. It gets quite big. So it only fits 1 in there. So I do have 2 to carry with us every time we go. But I also have more EpiPens in the hotel room, just to make that clear, just in case we were to lose them. But this holds 1. So if you want one that carries 2, make sure you measure really well, and remember that that is going to swell up because it fills with water, and that's how it actually keeps the EpiPen cool. It evaporates. So it works really, really well. And somebody I saw on one of the I don't know, the groups, they said they had a waterproof insert so that the EpiPens don't get wet. So I don't know about that. If anybody knows about that, let me know. But this seems to work. It does get a little bit, the EpiPen does get a little bit damp, but not wet or anything. It's just a little bit damp. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, but it is kind of nice. It might be nice to have a waterproof insert. So you need to have both the envelope and this like sort of pouch with all these things in it. Otherwise it won't work. So that is the carrier, and that it's really essential to have it when you're going to warm places, because if you're walking around outside, that EpiPen cannot go past 30 degrees Celsius. Now I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit if you're from the US, but it's 30 degrees Celsius. You don't want it to get hotter than that. So you always want to have something like this. And the nice thing about it is it's made for insulin. So it's actually from diabetic company for diabetic people to carry their insulin around. But it's nice because you don't have to freeze it or anything. It's just, you just put it in the water and that works. So it's really good. It's not too cold, so it's not like an ice pack. It's just that evaporation that keeps it cool, which is really, really nice. Is everybody else having some coffee? I hope maybe coffee or tea. We're actually having a really rainy, cold day here today, so I am having some nice coffee, which I always have anyways with in the morning. I like to have it at lunch, but when I have my Food Allergy Mom coffee chat, I like to have it with me in the morning. Okay, so the next thing, that is the carrier I wanted to show you, because I get a lot of questions about that. And I want to talk about wipes as well. Wipes are definitely essential as well, because you need them for so many things with food allergies. Now I get these really big, thick ones to wipe down the planes with. I really like the big, extra large, thick ones. They're a lot easier to wipe the plane with. You'll use a lot less, and you can get them in this size. Now this is the first time I've bought them in this size. We're going to use them for our trip coming up. Usually I have the big, it's like a big tub like this, because there's so many and I can just use as many as I need. But I'm going to try this. I'm going to try, because I counted out. There's 28 in here, and we have like 4 planes to wipe down. So I'm gonna have these for the plane rides, but I'm going to bring these ones for hands. So it's a sensitive, because my daughter has hand eczema, and I just find that sensitive is better for all of us as well. So we bring those, but I mean, I can use one of these if I needed to, but I like her to have the sensitive ones and the aloe ones, because those are just a little more gentle on her hands. But yeah, I am gonna try this, because I think I'll have enough if I think there's 4 flights. Yeah, so I'm gonna be able to use quite a few for each flight. I think it's gonna be enough. I'm usually one that likes to bring extra, so it's really hard for me to tone it down a little bit, but I really want to try and see if I can lighten things up, because we're doing an international trip, and I'm not going to tell you where. I'm going to talk about it a lot, so keep following me. I'm going to let you know. We're going with the whole family. We're going to see some really cool places in the Mediterranean, but I will blog about it and definitely let you know in my Instagram stories and my blog posts, so keep following me there. And I see Alma has asked, where did you buy the EpiPen Carrier in Canada? So I bought it online, and I believe you can get it on Amazon, but I think I went to the Diabetes Association website. I bought it a while ago now, and I think that's where, because it's for insulin, but just search for Frio, F-R-I-O, it's all in capitals, and you should be able to find that. Hopefully that helps you. So those are the wipes. Okay, so just wanted to break those down a little bit and show you what I do for the airplanes. I'm going to skip food containers, because that's kind of self-explanatory. And I just want to talk about the toaster bags. I learned about these from someone in my group, in my Friendly Pantry community, who is celiac, and she talked about these toaster bags. And these are awesome. You just buy them on Amazon. You get a package of like 4, and we're down to 1 now. But you can reuse them. And what you do is you put the safe food inside and you put them in the toaster, and they toast, and it keeps anything from touching the sides of the toaster. And it works, and you can reuse them, which is really great. I just wash out the inside. Yeah, so I wanted to share that because they are such a great handy thing. Instead of worrying about bringing a whole toaster if you're going on a road trip or like to a beach place, you know, that's a lot to bring. So having these is really nice, and we found it really great. So that is something. They are on Amazon, and there's a few different brands. I don't think there's one that I know of that's better than the other. I just bought the first one that I saw that looked, you know, half decent, and they've been working for us. So I had a package of 4, and that was like probably 2 years ago now. So we're down to 1. I'm gonna have to get some more, but those are great. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is a barbecue mat. Now, you may not think about this, but if you're sharing a barbecue in a public place, you never know what's been cooked on that barbecue. So we always bring a barbecue mat with us. And let me just give you what it looks like. We get these at Costco. They have these ones that are like copper, and then they also have black ones, and they're all reusable. I don't know what the black ones are made out of, but they're reusable, and I just have them rolled up, but you can see this one is well used. But you just unroll it and you put it on the barbecue, and you can still cook and do everything that you need to do, and then you take it inside, and it's safe from all those touching the grates. Now, you can also use foil. If you've got foil handy, that works too, but sometimes it's not easy. Like if you don't want to buy a whole package of foil, if you just stick one of these in your carry-on, or not in your carry-on, probably your packed luggage, then it's great, and it's reusable, which is kind of nice. So you can choose if you like that idea or not, but definitely think about something to cover those barbecues if you're going to use them, to make sure you don't get any of that cross contact. And portable cooler and ice packs, that's something definitely handy to have, because you're always going to be toting food around. You know, if you're bringing safe lunches or anything like that, it's nice to have those for sure. And breakfast foods. So when we go on trips, I have found that even international trips, you can almost always bring baked goods. There's usually no problem with baked goods. You know, check with the country that you're going to, but you can almost always bring like something that you've baked at home, or something that is store-bought and baked. So we even brought things like to the UK and things like that, just as long as you tell them as well. So make sure you're telling the company when you go into the country, you're declaring all the food you have. Don't hide anything, just tell them about it, and be prepared that something might be taken away. But I would research first what you can bring. So like meats, cheeses, milk products, all of those are not usually okay. The one exception, now I'm going to show that to you later actually, because I'm going to talk about some snacks that we bring. But as far as the breakfast foods, we have peanut and tree nut allergy and a gluten intolerance. So basically it just helps a lot if I can bake things and bring it with me. So I'll make like 6 muffins, or we'll make, I do like frozen waffles that are safe. I'll make them at home, I'll freeze them in the freezer, and then we'll put them into, and put them in the freezer when you get there. And it works really great, because then you just use your little handy dandy toaster bag, and she's got like almost like her own little Eggos that are safe. So we've done that. What else have we done for breakfast foods? Like we bring some of those Enjoy Life oatmeals or cereals. All of those will be okay usually to bring across any kind of international borders. So things like that. So yeah, those are pretty much the breakfast foods. We do loaves, like I've baked loaves before, and that has been really awesome too. So you can bring that stuff, and I would usually pack it in a separate carry-on luggage. So we always have our carry-on full of food. That's all the safe food. So we'll have like the stuff that we're bringing to put in the fridge, like the freezer when we get there, but also snacks and all of that for the plane in that one bit of luggage, and then we know where it is. Or my daughter's going to carry it with her a little bit. If it was a snack and we didn't want to reach up for it, she might have it in her backpack. Now, if you have a younger kid, you'll have to carry it for them, but that kind of works. That's what we do. So the next one is, okay, this is the one I was going to talk about, the backup meals and snacks for travel days. So when you're doing like travel days, I can tell you, you will be delayed at some point. We have been delayed several times, or so we've been to Hawaii. We fly from Calgary to Hawaii, and we booked specifically a direct flight because it's just easier to do direct flights. But when on the way home, we were on the way to the airport. It was like an hour drive, and we were almost there. And what happened? But the airline called us and said that the airplane, the windshield was broken. They couldn't fly it. So they had to cancel the flight. The only way we could get home was if we flew from, it was Maui to, where did we go? Seattle, then to Vancouver, then to Calgary. So from a direct flight, we went to a direct flight that was flying during the day. It changed to like 3 legs going overnight. So these things do happen, and they don't always happen, but you need to be prepared for them. And so we had lots of snacks. We had lots of backup things that we could bring, that we brought along. And the important thing to remember is that have them for the way there, but also have them for the way back, because sometimes that's hard to remember that you actually need to come back, right? You're just thinking about the plane trip there. So some of the things, I just want to show you a few things that have worked for us. I've got kind of a pile over here. So let me show you some of the things. Now, of course, this is all going to change depending on where you're from and all of that. But, and also some of these things are allergy dependent. It'll change it depending on your allergies, but there is hopefully something that will work for your allergies that is similar. So this is going to hopefully jog some ideas for you. So number one, if you want to get some protein, I really like these super seeds. They are awesome because they come in all different flavors. They are basically top allergen free. And yeah, there's no soy in them. I'm just reading. Yeah, they're all the top allergen free. So those are great. And I like them because you can get this like maple sugar and sea salt. Kids like that. They like the flavors. The plain ones they may not like so much. So if you mix these into a little trail mix with some of their other dry goods that are awesome, you'll find that these are really, really good. And what was the other thing? Oh, they came out with a tomato one, which is delicious too. It's brand new, I think. But that one's a really good one. So those are good. I have a blog post about a weekend trip that we took, and I have some ideas also for snacks for car rides that might work for plane rides as well. So check my blog out, friendlypantry.com/blog, and just click on travel. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in there that has like all sorts of things that are handy. But anyways, those are a good snack. And then we always like to have some like kind of almost meals that would work to eat, because if we get somewhere, we sometimes in the airport, we may not be able to find something safe right away. So I like to have some sort of a meal. And this is now, some of these are going to work for some people's allergens and some will not work. So this this is apples and cinnamon oatmeal. So I know it's a breakfast food, right? But if she needs to have it for supper and add in some hot water, that's not the end of the world. It's actually really healthy. She likes it. She sometimes adds a little bit of sugar. I know she's got a bit of a sweet tooth, but this one is going to be, it actually does, it's top allergen friendly as well. That's by Libra Naturals. So these little things are awesome to bring along because she can just add water to them. And let me just see if this one tells you to add water or milk. Yeah, add boiling water. So it is water. But I mean, even if it said to bring milk, I would probably, if you have a milk allergy, I would just put water in it. It's just not going to take it as rich, but it will be good. Now this one I know is not going to work for some people with milk allergy, but there's these little, this one is a gluten-free because my daughter has gluten intolerance, not a wheat allergy, but it is gluten-free and it's peanut and tree nut free. So that will work. Maybe you can find something else if you are milk and egg that is in a container like this. Check out your organic section. That's where I find these, and they don't always have them. That's what I find. You have to, I kind of stock up when I see them because I see that they have all these safe things, then I get them. So also, I get these from No Nuts About Us, these Libra ones. I don't know if you've ever, it's allergy friendly website where you can order foods from. Okay, so another thing, we actually went to Ireland last year and we tried this and it worked. We went through London, and so we had to declare in London all the foods we had because we had to stop over there. And then we also had to declare in Ireland, and both of them were fine with it. So there are these chicken and tuna and hummus snacks. Now I can get them in Canada. My daughter cannot eat the crackers in these things, and they have various allergens in them. So some will work for some and some will not work. So look at the flavors and see what they have because they are a protein that's easy to carry. The only thing was we had these in our carry-on and we got stopped at every single security gate. They had to search our whole, they're like, oh, it's that tin. That tin is bothering us. Like they could see it in the thing. So we're gonna bring it again, but we're not gonna bring it in our carry-on. We're probably gonna bring a couple in each of our luggage because we need some for our next trip. We need some for later in the trip. So we need things that are non-perishable that we know are going to be safe. So these are perfect because my daughter likes them pretty. I mean, she doesn't love them, but she knows that when she needs something safe, she will eat them. So there's various flavors. There's tuna snacks. That won't work if you have a fish allergy, but there's also chicken snacks and there's also hummus, and they have a variety of flavors in all of them. So that is something that has turned out for us, except for the security issue in the handbag. So I think next time we'll put them in the luggage, and then we'll have them for later on. But again, they were all really good about it when they found out what it was, and we also declared it as meat when we went in. We said we have a tin of canned chicken, and they were fine with that because it was processed. Now they may not always be fine with that. Like I said, sometimes meats are iffy. So when you're at the place, you can often find some sort of meat like that in the grocery store, wherever you're at. But it's nice to have just something that just to back up on. So that's why we're going to still bring it, and that's why we like it. So those are the backup meals and snacks that we're thinking of bringing, but we also bring like a variety. Like my daughter's also going to probably bring a protein boost drink, which will work for her, but again, it won't work for everybody. And it won't work on the plane because that's going to be bigger than 100 mils. So we'll have to put that in the packed luggage as well. But I'm trying to think of what else we're going to bring on our long flight. Just some various snacks, and we'll probably eat when we get there a bigger meal. So also, don't forget your asthma and eczema meds. We forgot our asthma meds one year. It is not easy to get asthma meds. You can't just ask a doctor to prescribe them. They have to actually see you and all of that. So you always want to bring all your meds with you, even if you don't use them very often, because my daughter has fairly mild eczema or mild asthma, so she doesn't need it that badly, but we do bring it, and we just want to have it so that she's not troubled by that at all. So that's something that you need to bring. And that's what I've got. That's what I've got for you. Those are the things I wanted to show you. And so I hope that's helped. Is there any questions? Does anybody have any questions at all? Now's your chance to ask. As I have a little sip of my coffee. You can always ask questions. Send me a DM or a private message on Facebook or a DM on Instagram. I'm happy to answer any questions. And all of this is in my blog post, which you will see. I'll put the link in my bio and also the link in the comments. So hopefully that helps you. And I don't see any questions. So either that's good, I really answered all of them, or you guys are all just baffled and cannot like even do anything because of all the information I just threw at you. So anyways, hopefully that's helped. As I said, you can let me know if there's anything else you have questions with, and join me next week as well. We will be talking, I'm not sure what we'll be talking about, but 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, same place, same time. That's when I do my Food Allergy Mom Coffee Chats. In a couple of weeks' time, we will not be doing that. I will be taking a break with my family, and I will let you know about that as we go, but I will start up again later in the summer. So Thursday mornings, remember that. Tell others if you know anybody else who might be interested. And thank you for joining me, and bye for now.